that a monkey?
Welcome to my first ever Decades of Decay series ranking video. The show that looks at a series of films that have spanned over the decades. The first episode of the show will dedicate itself to 6 King Kong films from 1933 to 2017. Let us begin. Number 6. King Kong Lives. What the heck? Now don't get me wrong. While this is the worst Kong film, it is still fun. A bit below average, but a guilty pleasure nonetheless. This and the original King Kong from 1976 were the first Kong movies I owned. I watched the original more than this, but I still popped this on every once in a while for a chuckle. Is it a good movie? No. It's popcorn entertainment. It came out a year after the Americans got a hold of The Return of Godzilla, and 10 years after the first remake of King Kong. So it was only natural they'd make a sequel and not another remake. I think it is a step in the right direction, with poor yet dumb fun results. 2 out of 5. Number 5. Son of Kong. While a lot of it is padding, I really do enjoy the scenes that have action and adventure. Carl Denham, like in the first movie, is a solid character. The rest of the characters did an okay job too. Kiko, Khan's son, is a bit too cartoonish for my taste. Not saying that the animation is bad, I'm saying the way he acts is very childish. But when he needs to be a force to be reckoned with, he delivers. I'd have to say that this movie is better than I thought it'd be, and for that I give it a 3 out of 5. Number 4. King Kong, the 1976 bigger, bolder, and grand first remake to the 1933 classic. This movie is epic, from the amazing music to the enjoyable characters. I do really enjoy this film's ambition. It's tried something different to an extent, and with better or worse results depending on how you look at it. This movie is way above a decent romp. It's amazing, but I do wish there was at least one dinosaur. Still, I find it to be a great film that should be more well received. 3.5 out of 5. Number 3. King Kong, the 1933 Marvel. The action and adventure sequences are top-notch, and accompanied by awesome stop animation. Tons of it. It remains a landmark in filmmaking. That is not to say it's a masterpiece. There are some things I do dislike about the movie. Jack Driscoll is a terrible written and bland character. He may have the mannerisms, but his performance is subpar. Also, there are unintentionally goofy scenes that unfortunately detracted it for me a bit. Still, this monster movie is tons of fun with a great atmosphere, music, and effects. Ann Darrow is a damsel in distress, but she's an iconic one. Still, I feel comfortable giving this Marvel a 4 out of 5. Please don't kill me. Number 2. Kong, Skull Island. You may want to turn off the video now. But first, hear me out. You've probably already guessed what my number 1 is, so how could I say that 2 movies with near identical stories be number 2, and 1 in my ranking? This movie is not a love story. It's an action monster movie with a seriously good cast and characters, amazing effects, a lush setting, passably epic music, and tons of carnage. This is the Kong film I've waited for over 10 years. Not every single Kong movie has to be a love story. This is back to basics for a monster movie. Kong smashes, Kong crushes, Kong Skull Island gets a 4.5 out of 5. And number 1, King Kong, the 2005 remake. Trust me when I say that I am a sucker for old movies. I prefer practical effects and stop animation over CGI most of the time. However, to me, this is a marvelous movie. From the effects and characters to the music and a revamped story. It actually makes you feel like you're back in 1933. It may be a little long, but it's highly worth it. You get character downtime and then character chomp time. It is a roller coaster ride, and is definitely my favorite Kong film. It was hard to choose between this, Khan Skull Island, and the original 1933 Marvel, but I just prefer the range of emotions Khan, the characters, and the viewer feels in this one over the range of adventure Khan, the characters, and the viewer endure in the original. 5 out of 5. And that is it. That is my first ever Decades of Decay series ranking video. Let me know what your thoughts and what your ranking are. Let me know what your rankings are in the description below. Let me know what your rankings are in the description below. And as always, I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and to leave comments and subscribe.